Hey, it's Linney, and I'm hanging out with Rob from Front Row Live.
What's up, guys? Rob here, Front Row Live Entertainment. I am finally hanging out with Linney, and I'm so excited that I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know you were going to be here until yesterday. And then I walk in and I see you sound checking. And I was like, I know her. Congratulations. New music just dropped today.
Yes.
Bridges, and it's freaking incredible. Like, you've been killing it. Like, I love seeing that you're pretty much all over the place lately. Your music has been your voice has been taking you everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, what has this year been like for you before we really dive in and talk about Bridges? But like, what has this year been like for you, and how has that helped you kind of navigate like this new music that you're working on currently?
Yeah, definitely. This year was the first time I released my own body of music too, my solo EP, Desert Dream. And I wanted to, it was a big milestone for me because I feel like I built my career by being the featured vocalist. And I was like, here are the songs that really make me who I am.
Yeah.
And I was actually able to feature one of my friends, Morgan Madison, on my EP and kind of like turn the tables there. But I love collaboration so much. And I like to kind of go between genres, but it's really important to me that my voice is my like signature sound. And it's been really fun just to travel the world a little bit. I got to perform 6 times at EDC, and I was in San Francisco last weekend with LAMORN, and then I'm going to New York next week.
Nice.
And then I'll be in Australia, Malaysia, and Indonesia with Marlo next month. Yeah.
That's incredible.
I can't wait.
That's incredible. One of the things that I love about the electronic scene is that like at least in the last like 4 or 5 years, it's introduced me to a lot of female vocalists or just vocalists in general. Like, I feel like they're the ones before the label actually realizes that someone can sing and has a great voice. Like, I feel like they're the ones that actually do it and discover you and put you out there. Who was that artist that was your first experience that was like, hey, I want to put you on my music and, put you out like in front of this kind of audience or like EDC?
Audience. So a lot of times some of the bigger artists have smaller labels that they release on, and I had a song on Gareth Emery's label that he played out one summer, and I remember hearing and seeing videos, and then I got an email from his team the next month saying, hey, do you want to do a song together? And then just like 1 month later, they asked me to come to the Armory in Minneapolis. It was like 6,000 people. We premiered the song, we filmed a video, and it was cool because that night Tritonal was opening, and I'd been sending songs to Tritonal for years, and I didn't actually get to like meet them that night, but I saw their set and they were amazing. And then after yesterday came out with Gareth Emery, I got hit up by Enhanced, which is Tritonal's label, and they put Electric Kids on hold. And then that fall, it charted on the dance charts. So that was like I've been doing it for a really long time, but that was the big opportunity that kind of like opened the door, I think, for me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we've known of each other for quite some time, and I feel like you have been in this industry for a very long time, doing different styles and just doing whatever feels right for you. Like, I love that no matter what you do, you really like add perfection to it. And right now with Bridges, like, such an incredible track, another collaboration that you kind of did. Talk to me about like working with Lena and Matthew in the studio and like starting to work on this track.
So Lena and I have been good friends. We actually wrote Electric Kids together. And she moved to Australia and we started the song on Zoom about like music crossing oceans. And we had this demo, and then we shared it, and Austin heard it and he really connected with it. And I actually found out that he was working on it from a tweet where he was like, I'm working on a pop song with Linney. And I was like, what? Which song?
Little did you know.
Yeah. So, and what's really cool is I'm singing on this. I co-wrote it, but I'm also his next single, which he hasn't announced, and I won't say what it's called, but I co-wrote it and I vocal produced on it. So it's one of my friends singing, but I'm really excited about that one too.
That's really cool. Like, what would you say that like experience has kind of allowed you, or what kind of impact has that experience had on your songwriting, and even your vocalization? Just because like you're hitting so many different vocal ranges, you're experimenting with your voice every single time you have a release. So how does that impact
being a co-writer
and just like co-writing with other people?
I mean, every single session there's something new to learn from. And it was actually really cool because I produce a lot of my own vocals, but I did the vocal production for my friend. I don't want to like say too much because they haven't announced it, but she sounds amazing, and it was really cool to be a part of it, on more of like the engineer side in addition to creating it, and like kind of stepping back and letting someone else shine. And I think we created a really good story, and I can't wait for people to hear it.
What excites you about Bridges?
Uh, I love. Well, first off, I'm honored that it's his first single for his album. It's album, right? Yeah. And the fact that it came from a place of like really just feeling isolated and wanting to connect with the world, and that's the first single, just like feels so perfect, as a great way to lead the way. And I believe the album is actually called Bridges Between.
Yeah.
So that was a huge honor to find that out too.
You've been getting a lot of like surprises in this industry, and as far as like your own material, like what is it that you're currently working on, and what's the kind of vibe that you have currently, just because you have so many amazing experiences right now?
Oh yeah, well thank you. Right now, so the Desert Dream EP is pretty much my like signature sound. It's very like songs that mean something with really deep stories. It's got the progressive house feel, but are very like vocal centric. I'm playing 2 unreleased ones tonight.
Nice.
So that's a little bit of a taste of what will come next. Probably starting to do singles for the solo projects in October, but until then I have a bunch of like really exciting collabs coming up too.
With Desert Dreams, like where do you feel like you've been challenged during this process?
Hmm. I felt like I had so many songs that I had to pick 6, but they kind of, the way that I looked into them was I always start with melodies first, and I like to create enough of a vibe production wise to be like, okay, this is inspiring me to sing something. And then I just press record. And usually, if I don't come up with something within the first pass that I'm at least like, oh, that could be something cool, I'll move on. And these were all songs that I pretty quickly had the entire melody planned out upon like first pass, and then like a hook idea. And then I dove in and I refined the lyrics after that. So I felt like they all just kind of developed naturally, but choosing which ones was definitely difficult.
I feel like that's the hardest challenge, especially because like one, as an artist, I feel like you never know when it's done, and two, it's like you always want to release more than what you already have. So the fact that you have this experience, you have these you get to be at places and stages and venues like EDC or venues even like this, where it's like a smaller kind of atmosphere. I'm sure that really impacts the writing process a lot, just because like you can consider like an arena type of vibe or sound, and you can consider something more intimate like tonight. So how do you even control it to the point where like whatever it is that you create, like this body of work, this EP, is cohesive no matter like how many dynamics you give us?
Oh, tricky question. So I feel like for this, it was really fun to put all of the songs together into a 30-minute set. And I also come from a background where I play piano and I sing, and I've done those songwriter nights, and I like being able to tell the stories when I do that. So I built in little moments tonight where I get to share a little bit of the story. I have an interlude where I'm like, okay, how can I, obviously this is an electronic show and I'm presenting the songs how they sound and how I produce them out to be, but I want to have that intimacy as well. And I kind of was like, okay, make your own rules, just figure it out.
That's cool. Now, as far as like other collaborations, like is there an artist that you would want to collaborate, whether it's on your material or on something that they're working on?
Oh man, there's so many. And I feel lucky because I actually am getting to collaborate with some of those people coming up here. But I think it would be really cool to have a song with Millennium someday.
Oh man.
Yeah, he had a song of mine on hold for like a minute, and then it didn't happen. But I'm like, someday.
That would be amazing, just because like he's one of us. He's like a rock kid, a pop punk kid. Like, and I feel like he understands like the sound and the style as well, and just the feelings and ways of emoting this kind of music. So we have to make it happen somehow.
I mean, if you're watching this, I'm down.